Mr. Intervicchio, do you need the Zoom number for any of the family members if they choose to? I know that we have some on. I'm just saying for any of the family members present, since we don't have a media room available.
Yeah, everyone else is present.
They want to stay here?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And Mr. Avalon, you ready to proceed then at this point?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, let's go ahead and announce the style. Mr.
John
Rajowski.
Prager, 2024-105-220.
All right, good morning. I'm understanding we're here for plea and sentencing. Is that accurate?
Yes, Judge.
All right, and the defendant is present with counsel, states represented by Mr. Interlicchio. So I don't know what your negotiations have been, so you guys are going to have to give me a little guidance on how do you want to handle this.
So, Judge, there haven't been negotiations. Count one is a mandatory sentence of life. Count two carries a 25-year minimum mandatory. And so, I have a plea form that's been executed and a score sheet here. So Mr. Prager intends to withdraw his previously entered plea of not guilty, tender a plea of no contest as charged to both, and accept the mandatory life term for count one. And whatever Your Honor feels appropriate for count two and wants to proceed to sentencing today. So that's essentially where we are.
And I take it he's entitled to a PSI?
He-
Since it's mandatory life. I don't
He
think
is,
that
Judge,
applies.
and we'd be waiving a PSI.
Right. I think when it's mandatory life, if I have no other lawful sentence, I don't think it's mandated. But either way, he does not want a PSI.
That's right, Judge.
You've explained to him what a pre-sentence investigation is.
I have.
All right, no agreements whatsoever then.
No, Your Honor.
All right, but we're gonna have a sentencing presentation to count two, is that what we're doing? Or?
Not from our perspective, Judge. Since count one is a life term, then we don't have the intention of presenting any evidence on count two.
All right, and state, do you have the intention of presenting any evidence?
It'll just be victim impact, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you want me to take the plea first and then take your victim impact? Or?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, all right, come on forward, sir.
Well, Judge,
Is he in a chair?
Mr. Prager is 83 years old and fairly infirmed. I was going to ask permission if he could stay there. Also, I did ask court admin to provide some hearing help. He is hard of hearing. I think he can hear you as long as the court does use the microphones. But the hearing devices didn't show up today.
Okay, do you all mind following up and seeing if we can't get those quickly? We can get them in here, I'd like to. And then if you could just slide the microphone a little closer to him
Yes.
to make sure we're getting everything.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so they're heading, thank you. So they're heading over with that right now? All right. Any objection to the score sheet, Mr. Avalon?
No, ma'am. You're bringing over the best help you here. So, you've got basically a hearing aid, so you'll be able to hear the judge better.
All right, as soon as we get that hearing equipment, I'll proceed.
Thank you.
In the plea form, of course, it's not a PBL, it's just a capital. Do you all mind if it has it listed as a PBL?
It's 1020 life for the attempted.
So the first degree murder is listed as a PBL as opposed to capital.
Yeah, that's correct, Your Honor, sorry.
All right, and then you explain that to your client, you of course just announced it as capital, so I
Yes,
take it your
Judge.
client understands?
Yes, ma'am.
Are they bringing those right now? Oh, great. All right, Deputy Yanko has the equipment.
Should be turned on and then there's a pair of those all work.
Okay. So just put this on your ears underneath here. Give that a try, Judge.
All right, sir, can you hear me?
Not very good.
All right, I'm going to talk really loud. Does that equipment help you?
Not working.
No.
See the light switch on as well.
Try that. Give that a try.
All right, is that any better?
Yes.
Okay, if there's any point where you cannot hear me or do not understand, just ask me to repeat it, okay?
Yes.
Just raise your hand and let me know. All right, at this point, I do need you to raise your right hand to be sworn in.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
All right, sir, state your name
John Krager,
and what is your date of birth?
4/11/41.
Do you read and understand English?
Yes, I do.
How far did you go in your education?
2 years of college.
Okay, so you got your high school diploma and then took some additional classes. All right, your attorney has passed forward a plea form that says that you wish to enter a no contest plea to first-degree murder. That is a capital felony, which means that the only legal sentence I can give you is life in prison. You understand that?
Yes, I do.
And that's what you want to do today?
Yes, I do.
All right, the second charge is attempted first-degree murder with a firearm. That is punishable by up to life in prison under 1020 life. You understand that?
Yes.
And that's also a first-degree felony. Each of these is a first-degree felony. You understand that?
Yes.
Okay. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol today?
No.
Have you taken any medication in the last 24 hours?
Yes.
What kind?
I don't have any idea.
What do they address?
I'm sorry?
What do you take the medication for?
For muscle relaxer, pain, high blood pressure, cholesterol, couple other medications.
Okay. Do any of the medications address any mental illness?
No.
Have you ever been diagnosed with mental illness?
No.
Okay. Do any of those medications interfere with your ability to understand the nature and consequences of what you're doing today?
No, they do not.
You understand I would be sentencing you to life
Yes,
in prison today?
Yes.
Okay. And are you able to communicate with counsel appropriately?
I believe so.
Okay. Counsel, any concerns on competence?
No, ma'am.
All right. Your plea form is a 2-page document that I'm holding up. Did you read and understand this entire
I did.
form? All right. And is this your signature on the second page?
It is.
Did you have enough time to go over this form with your attorney?
Yes, I did.
Are you satisfied with the services of your
Yes.
attorney? Okay. You understand that you're waiving the right to have a jury trial?
Yes.
You're waiving the right to have the state prove each charge beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yes.
You waive the right to confront state witnesses, call your own witnesses, enter your own evidence, or testify on your own behalf if you chose to testify.
Yes.
You're waiving the right to any more discovery from the state, and you're waiving the right to appeal other than the legality of this sentence or my jurisdiction over your case.
Yes.
Do you understand all of those rights that you're waiving?
I do.
Do you have any questions on any of those rights before we go forward?
No, I don't.
Are you entering your plea freely and voluntarily?
I am.
Did anybody threaten, coerce, or force you in any way?
In no way, shape, or form.
Okay. Did anybody make you any promises other than what's been
No.
represented on the record here or in
No.
your plea form? Do you understand if you're not a United States citizen, this plea will result in you being deported? Okay, if you were ever released for any reason. Yes? Okay, do you not understand that?
I'd like for you to say it again, please.
Okay. Obviously, your sentence is supposed to be life. But if for any reason you were to get out, you understand this plea would result in you getting deported, right? So I just need to make sure you understand that
Yes,
possible
I do.
consequence in that event. All right, and again, only if this applies to you, if you've ever been convicted of a sexually motivated offense, this plea subjects you to involuntary civil commitment as a sexually violent predator. You understand that, sir?
Yes.
Okay. All right, State, I'm going to ask you to state a brief factual basis.
Yes, Your Honor. Just one moment.
The indictment says July 19th, 2024.
All right, Your Honor, on July 19th, 2024, in the county of Volusia, the defendant was in the pawn shop owned by the victim, Volusia Golden Pawn, where he produced a .357 revolver and shot and killed Ghazi Michael Osta. At the same time, his son came out and Mr. David Michael Osta acted out in self-defense, fired at Mr. Krager. Mr. Krager then returned fire, shooting and attempting to kill David Michael Osta as well in Volusia County on July 19, 2024.
All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Avalon, do you agree that would present a sufficient factual basis to support the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Did your client have a question? I don't know if you want to talk to him privately for a moment.
He doesn't, Judge. He couldn't hear the prosecutor, but I will.
I can't hear a word he said.
Okay. All right, your attorney is agreeing there is a factual basis to support your plea. At this point, if you need to talk any further, or are you prepared to go forward?
Just a moment, Judge.
Sure.
We're ready to proceed, Judge.
All right, is anybody aware of any DNA evidence that exonerates the defendant?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
No, ma'am.
All right. Sir, in regard to the charges of first-degree murder, a first-degree felony, that is a capital offense with a mandatory life sentence, and attempted first-degree murder with a firearm, a first-degree felony punishable by up to life in prison, under 1020 life. How do you plead?
Guilty.
Okay. All right, I accept your plea. I do find you are alert and intelligent, that the plea is freely and voluntarily entered, that you understand the nature of the charges against you, and that you are represented by competent counsel with whom you are satisfied. I do find a factual basis to support the plea. In regard to sentencing, State, you said that you have some victim impact witnesses.
Yes, Your Honor.
And let me just make sure I ask you, are you satisfied with the services of your attorney, sir?
Yes.
Okay, all right, go ahead, State.
Thank you.
Any need for these witnesses to be sworn in, Mr. Avalon?
No, Judge.
All right. All right, good morning, ma'am. Please state your name.
Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Leah Osta. I am the wife of Gizzy Michelle Osta. I am the mother of David Michael Osta.
All right, and State, did you want to question her, or do you have a statement that you just wanted to read?
I have a statement.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
I want you to hear every word. I'm looking at you. I am here today to address how the premeditated first-degree murder of my husband, Guzzy Osta, and attempted murder of my son, David Michael Osta, affected me and my family. I want to first thank all the agencies involved, and I appreciate all the work in this case. Ever since this case began, it's been a challenge to hold my pain and anger inside. It's been over 3 months of living with an unimaginable nightmare. So much pain. So much pain. And ever since the sentencing was put on the docket, I have been thankful for the speed to end this process, but unable to stop thinking of this moment. This has all been very difficult. I've had trouble being in the moment. I've had wonderful people around me at the Margarita Ball and a beautiful wedding with a lovely couple, but it's very difficult to go on when there's so much pain. Since I don't know anything about guns, I had to educate myself what a hollow point bullet was. A hollow point bullet is a type of expanding bullet which expands on impact with a soft target, transferring more or all of the projectile's energy into the target over a shorter distance. My husband received that hollow point bullet to his left temple, and I had to have extra work done on Gizzy so he could have an open casket. Johnny cowardly Krager, you are a useless, pitiful piece of lowlife. I always knew you to be. My husband pitied you, saved your life twice when you told him you didn't want to live. You shuffled into my store when I wanted you out. Like everyone else you met through my husband, they all thought what a lowlife hanging around here was doing. My husband knew you had no one except him, so he pitied you. Your fangirl obsession with my husband was gross, wobbling into our business with your junky merchandise to bicker with my husband Guzzy, wasting time, like always, hanging around because no one else wanted you. Looking at your gnarled fingers now that pulled the trigger and shot and killed my husband sickens me. You are sickening. Then trying to kill my son, David Michael. Thank God David Michael shot you and decided to let you live. He decided that. So each day will be a torture for you. Look at you, a murderer. My husband thought he'd live forever. He ate healthy, regular doctors, drinking all that disgusting celery juice, even cosmetic surgery this year to correct the bags under his eyes. Me, I lived on Oreo cookies and junk food. Funny, isn't it? He planned on retiring, on traveling the world. He planned on his children's weddings. All gone from a hollow point bullet, from a lowlife. Your killing of my husband and attempted killing of my son, David Michael, caused all kinds of physical, emotional, spiritual, and financial pain and loss. As a wise man once said, anyone can sail in calm waters, but sailing through tough waters, that will bring out your strength. And we have certainly been sailing in catastrophically rough waters. Our family has suffered a tremendous loss. Gezi was my husband of 39 years and a father to 4 heartbroken children. A community who loved Gezi. It's all gone with your cowardly action. Your obsession with my husband and my family was cringy and makes me sick. But through this tragedy, we will grow stronger. David Michael, who's here today, works endlessly in the business Gizzy and I started. Myself and Pavlina help out as well. It's a new landscape for all of us. As a family, we will survive and thrive. And after I walk out of this courtroom, I will walk out and throw your face and your memory of you in the trash where it belongs. As we head toward a holiday season where everyone makes wishes, I wish this shooting by Krager had never happened, but my husband was not shot in the head with a hollow bullet, that my son was not shot at numerous times, that my son didn't endure what he should never had to see and experience, that once the police tape was taken down, I wish that he didn't have to clean up the scene. I wish that I wasn't at the hospital standing over my husband in a body bag, feeling his legs through the bag, trying not to believe he was inside the bag, while Krager was being patched up somewhere in that hospital. I wish my son and I weren't harassed by relatives begging and finding and plotting for money or control. I wish all that had never happened. Since none of those wishes can come true, I wish for those here today to give encouragement to my son and an extra hug. I wish for prayers and I wish for Krager to never leave prison, except in a body bag. You, Johnny Cowardly Krager, will die as the useless lowlife you are, and I always knew you to be. Enjoy your days in prison. Burn in hell and enjoy the painful trip to your fiery home. Thank you.
Any follow-up questions, Dave?
No follow-up.
All right.
Make a statement.
No one else present wants to speak. I don't know if Sienna or Fiona would like to say anything.
You don't have to, but in case you want to, you're able to.
All right, let me just go ahead and ask for Sienna Asta, did you wish to make a statement today?
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. I would like to make just a brief statement. I want to make sure that John Krager can hear me, though. Can you hear me, Krager?
I can.
Okay. I want you to know how much you have hurt this family. I thought you cared about my dad. I thought you were his friend. And for you to betray him and rob us of our father. I cry every single day. Every day I cry. I still talk to my dad. He just doesn't talk back anymore. And that's your fault. There is no amount of pain and suffering that you can ever endure that will justify or make me feel any sense of relief for what you've done to us. You should be absolutely ashamed. That's all.
All right, thank you. All right, for Fiona Asta, did you wish to make a statement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
John Krager, can you hear me? Is your hearing okay?
Yep.
Good. I don't know where to quite begin. This has been the hardest thing for me and my family. What you have caused, you're a sick, disgusting monster. I don't know how someone like you can live with yourself. I miss my father every day. You took something so valuable to us. And it's like, you don't even care. You're such a filthy coward. You're not even thinking about the consequences of what it's like to lose our daddy. You're a sick, disgusting human being, and you deserve to burn in jail. Burn and die in jail. I'll never get that back with my daddy, and you took that. You're just a sick, disgusting human. This has been so hard. So hard. And the grief is just unreal to bear. And it's like, it doesn't even feel real most of the time. But like Sienna said, I miss him every day and I think about him all the time. And even though he's not here, that he's still with me. And he did not deserve this. He did not deserve what he's done to you, that he was a good person. He didn't deserve the way that he went out. So shame on you. That's all. That's all.
All right, thank you. All right, anything else from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else from the defense?
I want to make a statement, if I may.
All right, go ahead.
Well, just a second, Judge, if I may.
May I ask the judge?
Hang on just a second, Mr. Allen. You comfortable with your client addressing the court at this point?
It's his desire to make a statement, Judge.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Craig.
All right. I knew Gus Asta for 18 years. The last 3 years, not so well. I was with his family on many occasions, spent nights up watching him do different record setting for Ripley's, believe it or not. I love the family, but I hated the man as it came to a conclusion in the shop that day. Mr. Asta was a crook, a thief.
I'm going to stop you right now, sir.
All right.
Listen to me for just a moment.
All right.
So you're allowed to make a statement to me in regard to your sentencing.
Okay.
You have a family here that's
Okay.
just expressed to you how much pain they're in.
Okay.
I don't see that that's going to be productive or helpful for you to start insulting the victim. So I'm going to ask that you not do that. If you have something to say in regard to a self-defense argument or anything like that that you want me to take in mitigation for count 2, I'll hear it. Other than that, I'm not gonna let you sit here and insult him. Okay? Do you understand me, sir?
Yes, I think it's unfair.
I can appreciate that. I'm not gonna let you do that today. I don't think that that's helpful to anybody. I think it's damaging, and it's not helping for you in your sentencing. So, is there something else you want to say to me that is not insulting?
Not a thing.
Okay. Mr. Adlon, anything more on that?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you. All right, does the state wish to make a closing statement?
No, Your Honor.
Spence?
No, Judge.
All right, prepared for sentencing then at this point?
Yes, Judge.
All right, Mr. Krager, in consideration of your open plea today, at this point, I'm going to adjudicate you guilty on each count. On count 1, I sentence you to life in prison without the possibility of parole. On count 2, I sentence you to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Standard fines and costs, no cost of prosecution or cost of investigation. I'll convert all costs and fines to a civil judgment. The credit at this point is 131. We'll count it as a concurrent sentence. All right, any questions at this point, sir?
No, ma'am.
All right, sir, you have 30 days to appeal. That must be in writing with the clerk of court. If you cannot afford counsel, I'd appoint counsel to represent you, okay?
Yes.
All right, anything else? All right, anything else, Mr. Evelyn?
No, ma'am.
State?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Court's in recess.
Can I have just 1 second? I have to have him sign a piece of paper. Just 1 second. Rewrote that form. I rewrote that form. I put Tori's name on it. It's the same form. I just changed it from Ham to Tori. But you can't use your hand, right? Can you do the best you can? I'll put the date on it. It's the same thing.
All right,
What are we
score sheet one.
Oh, it says my sister.
I think we have to on both counts.
So they're gonna take you over here.
And then here's the plea, which we did. Sorry for your loss. I am going to conclude this session, but thank you for attending today.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you for letting me be here.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.